Don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. Hi everyone, it's Mike here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I hope everybody is doing well and being fit and healthy and are gearing up ready for the festivities. So I promised I would try and squeeze in the second page to my December Rogues Gallery double before Christmas. So here it is. Let me turn over to my overhead camera and I'll show you what I'm going to be doing and who is going in the last page in the book. Okay, so the Rogues Gallery. So this is the companion one to the first page, which I did earlier in the month. So this was Isaac Newton, who was born on December the 25th, all those years ago. So the person that I'm going to be using for the companion page was actually born on December the 26th. So I've got a similar background just to tie the two double page spread in. And once again, I'm just going to whip around the edges of the background paper, which I've already pre-cut to the correct size. And then we'll just go around the edge with a little bit of a distress ink, just to kind of age it up a tad. And then again, I've pre-cut my background mat so that when that goes on there, I think we'll flip that round actually, so we've got a bit of green at this side. So then that's going to go on this side of the page as the companion one to that one for Isaac Newton. Now then, I will just quickly go around this. So I've used a piece of old Tim Holtz paper. It's one of his, I can't remember the name of the set, one of the very old, or one of the first kind of like eclectic ones he did. This particular one's got numbers on it. There's other sheets with printing blocks and good knows what else. Obviously you can't buy these sets anymore because he's not doing them in the pads anymore, is he? Right, so going to stick that down as is. So I'm going to be using my spirit glue. So while I'm doing that, so I'm hoping that everybody is as ready for Christmas as you're going to get, those that celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or any other religious festival that comes up at this time of year, winter solstice and all that kind of thing, which is when is it, 21st of December here in the northern hemisphere. I'm forgetting where I am in the world. Yes, so the winter solstice, 21st of December, 22nd of December, depending on where you are, where the sun rises first, and all that kind of jazz. I'm pretty much as ready for Christmas as I'm going to get. Presents have all been bought. I'm not buying any more. No, there's no time left now. So that's it. So, right, so the next bit we're going to do, we're going to layer up some pieces of paper. So, who is it that I'm going to be using? Well, born on Boxing Day in 1791 is Charles Babbage, said to be the father of computing. So it was Charles Babbage that first proposed the idea of the difference engine in a paper to the Royal Astronomical Society entitled A Note on the Application of Machinery to the Computation of Astronomical and Mathematical Tables. There you go. So it was all to do with astronomy and mathematical tables, as in when the sun's going to rise, set, when certain astronomical bodies will be visible in the sky and that kind of stuff. So it was that paper that that kind of sowed the seeds of the difference engine, which was the first real computer. And here's a drawing of, it's upside down, it is upside down, and there's a drawing of what it could have looked like. So well, what it could have looked like, what it did look like. So there's all the kind of wheels with the numbers on, and as it clicked and whirred and clockwork, whatever, it computed and did complex mathematical computations. There you go. And then there's another piece there, which is kind of like a plan going down. So if you imagine that is the plan going down, those little circles you can see in the pattern there are actually those circles there in the engine. So that's like a plan view, and that's like a side view of the difference engine. All very clever, considering it was in 1822 when he first proposed this to the Royal Astronomical Society. Yeah, can you believe it? 1822. So nearly 200 years later, and we're using, you know, computers and that kind of stuff, which bears no resemblance really to what he originally did, but it's moved on so much further, and it just makes you wonder. He says, just running back to his desk really quickly, just makes you wonder, you know, what we're going to be using in another 200 years or another 100 years or whatever. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to put down then is going to be this plan view of the difference engine. So I'm going to lay that down at the bottom there. So let's grab the glue. So composition wise, I kind of wanted this one to mirror what's on the left hand side a little bit. So complementary to what's already there, so it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb. So, but I also wanted to feature these fabulous drawings and plans as part of it. So that's going there, and then I'm going to put this one here. So I normally put a larger piece somewhere on and then put the smaller items in here. So that's what we're going to do on this one. But this one's going down first, because this drawing, or technical drawing, of the side view of the engine is just the bee's knees as far as I'm concerned. Just have to make sure I get it the right way up. So that's going to go about there, just like that. Okay, and then Mr. B himself will go like that across both, just like that. But what I wanted to do is just to throw a little bit of computer paraphernalia in there. So I've got this. So most people know that computers work on a code called binary, which is basically yes or no, on or off. It's either one or the other, and that's symbolised by the letter or the numbers 1 and 0. 0 being no, and 1 being yes, off and on. So what you can see there is a mathematical representation of the words Merry Christmas, or some of it, because actually it's about this long. I couldn't get it all on, so actually that probably only says Merry, which is enough really for what I want. And I'm not going to use the whole piece either. I'm just going to actually use that as, actually, do you know what, I think I might use that, the whole bit. I'm going to use it as kind of like faux washi tape. So let's just, there's a couple of websites on the interwebs. Obviously there wouldn't be websites otherwise, would they? Where you can put words and stuff in and get translations, and you can get translations in binary code like this, or hexadecimal, which is it's base 16, which is alpha and numeric. I know, I don't understand how it works either. Don't ask me. Don't ask me, I only work here. Right, so that bit there then is where we're going to put that. So we've got the Merry Christmas going up the side, and then we're going to put Mr. Babbage there. Like I said, I've already gone around the edges of these with distress ink, because, you know, when you've seen distress ink go down once, you've seen it go down a million times. There's nothing startling, or, you know, there isn't really any great technique to it. Alright, so let's line that up. So we've just got a little bit of the red showing there, and some fabulous difference engine there. So this is also like the front cover, if you like, of a book that was published about the difference engine a while ago, but it doesn't actually say who wrote the book, so it just says Charles Babbage and the quest to build the first computer, the difference engine. So we're going to put that on there as well, like so. And again, I did go around it, so I want to put that down towards the bottom. Let's just move him up a bit. Gives us a bit more room to get that difference engine in there. There we go. The glue with the wiggle room, as I keep saying many times. And then of course we need to add the date plate, so 12 being for December and B because it's the second one, and 021 for the year 2021. So that's our number plate. A little bit of glue on there, and then we're going to do that so it's just breaking out from the bottom. That just kind of breaks those lines up a little bit and beds the collage all together. Now, when I did the one for Sir Isaac Newton, obviously I've been trying to add some kind of metal embellishment to each of the pages that I've done. For the one for Mark Twain, Samuel Clements, there was the pen nib. This was going to be reserved for somebody else who was born in November, and I was going to do a chappie born on the 30th of November, being Winston Churchill. After reading the recent controversy about his thoughts on race, I decided not to. I decided to do somebody else instead. So I think the person I'm going to put in there is going to be Edmund Halley, as in Halley's Comet, because he was also born in November, the 8th of November, I seem to remember. So yeah, I think we're going to do Edmund Halley in there, which I'll probably do over the Christmas period. And then that's going to be the journal complete. Not wanting to detract away from the achievements of Winston Churchill, because as a war Prime Minister, he did a fantastic job. And you can't really take that away from him. Although some of his comments on race, particularly with people living in the South Asian continent, India, and that kind of area, and the Palestinians and that kind of stuff, when you read what he said about those particular areas, yeah, not necessarily the nicest of people. So I decided not to include him. I've got no idea on anybody's thoughts, really, like Charles Babbage's thoughts on any kind of racial topics, or Isaac Newton's, because nothing was ever recorded. But unfortunately, Winston Churchill's was. But hey ho. So what I'm going to do, we added a metal label, one of Tim Holt's metal labels for observations for Isaac Newton, because obviously he observed the apples falling in the orchard, gravity, blah blah blah. And for Babbage, we've got the word discoveries. So I think that was fairly fitting for Mr. Babbage. So these days, yeah, it's an absolute minefield when you're trying to, maybe use people from history, because there's so much, about people that these days, lots more is recorded about what they said and did than was in earlier times, like for Isaac Newton. And I know Newton was a Freemason and all that kind of stuff, so was probably anti-slavery and all that kind of thing. No idea where Winston stood. Obviously, slavery had already been abolished a long time ago here in the UK, and thanks to William Wilberforce and all that kind of stuff. But you still don't know, do you? You still don't know. Anyway, right, so we're going to add some glue just underneath, just to hold the ribbon in place. So that's going to hold that piece of ribbon on the back. Just grab that glue, and then I'm going to put some of the glue actually on the ribbon, like that, and then it's going to go on the opposite side. So Isaac's is there, Mr. Babbage is going to go on this side. You see, I made a bit of a mistake there, because I should have really had it on this side coming over so that I could have the bow on that side, but you know, it don't really matter. Okay, let's cut some of that. These scissors are a bit blunt. Been using them to pull the pin out from my glossy accents recently, so it's probably blunted it a bit. Okay, so let's just tie that off like that. Just pull it a little bit tighter, and then just tie a little knot. I'm not really trying to go for a full bow because it's a bit girly. I'm going to get comments now. No, it's not. It's a bit too. Putting a bow is just a bit too much, I think, for this. But a knot is fine. Right. There we go. And then I just nip that off. Yeah, we all say things that are inappropriate sometimes. At the time, you know, you can't live your life looking back in hindsight, can you? You know, things were a lot different back then. Attitudes were different. You can't edit history really based on, you know, modern sensibilities. Because that's rewriting history, and if you do that, then you run the risk of not learning from it. Anyway, right, so there we go. Do we need some clips? I think not, actually. I think that because it's the last page in the book and it's pretty much flat, I don't think we're going to need to lay and I'll put any weights down on that. I think that's going to be it. So apart from that page there, like I said, is going to be Edmund Halley, Halley's Comet. Not just Halley's Comet though, but he also, Edmund Halley, also spent a lot of time underwater and did invent or improve upon the designs for diving bells and submersible craft. I know, it's crazy, even back then. But they've been using submersibles and diving bells since the Greek times for treasure hunting and oysters and sea fishing and that kind of stuff. So diving bells weren't a new invention. So the submarine was around at the time of the American Civil War. So, you know, it does go back a long, long way. But anyway, so that's Edmund Halley for another day. Charles Babbage, so there you go. The first guy to propose the idea of a difference engine, or the first computer. Born on December the 26th, 1791, and if you're interested, died on October the 18th, 1871, aged 79. There you go. So lived to be a ripe old age, 79. Great. For the time, bearing in mind, for the time, that was a good age. So that's it for this last page for December. I feel like I've put my foot in it about 4 times already. So time to make a hasty retreat, as the saying goes. Right, so Charles Babbage alongside Sir Isaac Newton. Christmas Day, Boxing Day. There you go. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me put this together. I will do a flip through of this and some other journals that I've done over the year a little bit later on, so you'll be able to see exactly what I've done in their entirety. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. That's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. And let's close the book on the Rogues Gallery for 2021. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.